right up until the end of the game when they did get on the field.
We'll let everybody see that later on. Early on, the Bomber defense strong up the middle. Sweat and Cerrone with the tackle, and then a lot of pressure on the quarterback Brian Wild early. Ralph Jones applies the pressure.
Yes, Brian Wild did an excellent job yesterday. He scrambled and kept us off balance.
The fumble there from Whitman, and then the incomplete pass from Fitzgerald. Offensive problems all day. You're going to see it in all 4 quarters, but, Coach, the offense never could get rolling.
No, we never did get a good start. We had tremendous problems with our passing game. We completed 1 pass for the day, and of course that was a factor.
Jason Nichols with the tackle there, and a part of the game that's really blossomed here in the later weeks for the Bombers, the special teams. Greg D'Arienzo takes the punt and then comes right in your face. 70 yards for the touchdown, Coach. What a difference this special teams has given, what an added dimension this special teams has given the Bombers the last 2 weeks.
Yes, we clearly outshone Cortland in the special teams work, but that's the only place where we did it.
Wild tries to bring the guys back, but John Janice again solid. The defense was so strong early on for the Bombers. Then but they were forced due to the offense to be on the field much of the game.
Yes, and of course I've been coaching for 39 years. I'm not sure what that means. I've heard it said many times. I'm still confused about what it means being on the field all the time.
We'll try to figure that out some point in the day. Szymanski has the pass broken up, and again the defense on the field as finally Wild starts to complete some passes. It took him a little while to get into his rhythm. Did you feel that?
Yes, but he scrambled and he threw some passes late after he'd been running around. We hadn't done too much from an offensive standpoint.
The Bombers start out the second quarter with the special teams again. D'Arienzo with a 16-yard return. The special teams not only scored for your team, but they also gave the Bombers good field position. Here you see Fitzgerald give to Whitman up the middle. Nothing really there. The offensive line really never established themselves either as Fitzgerald stopped for a loss.
I think from an overall standpoint that Cortland handled us in most ways.
Adams with the pitch, and then something that really bothered the Bombers here in the second quarter, penalties. A holding penalty here makes it 1st and 20, and then another positive gain by Fitzgerald negated from another holding penalty. You move back to 1st and 30. That's asking a lot out of your offense.
Well, there were an awful lot of penalties there. That was unfortunate. We hadn't been treated thusly in games so far this year, and that made a difference in the ballgame.
The defense had played strong to this point, but the interception by Jason Dudek pins them against their own end zone. A big hard situation for them to be in here late or early in the second quarter, and the touchdown is the result. A 7-7 tie. A lot to ask your defense to be backed up to their 15-yard line and stop them yet again.
That's true.
The touchdown by Cortland makes it 7 apiece, and at this point you're just trying to get anything to work on offense, go back to the basics, so to speak?
Well, we weren't, we tried something different. I'm not sure it was right. We were making some errors offensively, and I think that we coaches made a couple of decisions that didn't help us a great deal as well.
Well, they didn't make you make a decision right away. Todd Koenig, 90 yards for the kickoff return. Again, the special teams shines for the Bombers. They lead 14-7. The defense stands up again. Jeff Yeager with the solo tackle gives the Bombers the ball back. After the 20-yard gain by Jeff Whitman, the offense stalls again. As you said, you couldn't get the passing game going.
Passing game was a real factor. And Jeff Whitman had a pretty good day. He had 108 yards, but he was our workhorse, and he was carrying the ball when it counted.
Well, Brian Wild directs the drive. Conklin goes in for the score. They missed the extra point.
Classic game, Tom, of a group of kids that went into a ball game wanting to win real badly, and they did. And yes, I think that they were better prepared mentally than we were.
Joe Fitzgerald with the 15-yard gain to start off the second half here, and Whitman with the 5-yard pickup. But and then the Bomber passing game, as we said, 1 completion on the day. There it is, 15 yards to Joe Palumbo. You ran the patterns, the balls were there, they weren't falling for you, Coach?
Joey was having trouble throwing the ball in the proper spot. We were overthrowing some, and we were just having an overall difficult time in the passing game. I can't remember a time when we've had more difficulty in having a passing game.
The intentional grounding call on Fitzgerald there gives the ball back to Cortland, and then, as you said, Wild throws the ball so well on the run. The 28-yard pass, and then the deep ball. Zunic appeared to have good position, but they call the pass interference. Coach,
it was not pass interference, I can tell you that, Tom. We viewed that very, very carefully on films, and we had a good shot at it. It was the call, but it was a bad one.
It turns out to be a huge call as Cortland continues to drive. McPherson with a 9-yard pickup brings them even closer. Wild punches them even closer there. That was Deegan with the carry, and Wild to Riccio on the out pattern. A very methodical drive by Cortland, aided by that penalty, as you said, capped off by Deegan's 1-yard run, as you're going to see here. At first, Wild keeps it well in the option. He also runs the ball well, Coach.
Yes, that's the only time he ran it, Tom. But it was a significant factor at that point.
I got ahead of myself, and there's Deegan with the touchdown. The 1-yard touchdown gives Cortland the lead, 19-14. Now the 2-point try. Great play by D'Arienzo to break it up.
He stuck back with that receiver on that backside. He did a good job.
So the Bombers only trail 19-14 at the end of the third quarter here. So with less than a touchback, starting off the fourth quarter, the Bombers trail 19-14, and the Bombers are driving the ball again on the ground. But this is a huge call right here, Coach. 4th and 1 at the Cortland State 41. Was there any doubt in your mind to go for it?
No, we had just inches. And I might add, our film showed to our satisfaction that we made it, okay, unfortunately.
Again, a game of inches, as you say, and the spot really did come down to it. Another big play here. An incomplete pass would have made it 3rd and 11. Jeff Yeager comes over, taps the receiver, and they call a personal foul. A case of the referee stepping in maybe where they shouldn't have?
No, not at all. I know that Jeff did not intend anything there, but it happened. And if it happens, it should be penalized. That was a good job by the official.
Okay, again, a big call as it leads to a field goal and increases the lead to 22-14. But the Bombers never quit. Whitman on the ground for 18 yards, and then Fitzgerald scrambles again. He rolled out a lot, Coach, with the option to either run or pass. He seemed to favor the run late in the game.
Well, we told him as the game went along to run the ball because they were giving that to us. We could make yardage whenever we did that.
Again, Fitzgerald scrambles right down to the goal line, setting up a very interesting sequence here. He gets a couple yards here, gets it right down to the 1-yard line. Now on 4th and 1, Coach, with just a couple of minutes left. He scrambles, can't find that receiver. Was it a good decision on his part? He was
to run that ball, and he should have gone for the corner. It was blocked off very well.
Huge play here. They don't kneel on the ball and take the safety. They try to punt it away. It's only a 5-yard punt. You have a chance to actually tie the game, and Fitzgerald, with the 1-yard plunge, makes it 22-20. Take us through this 2-point conversion, what you called on the field.
We were sprinting with a motion man and thought that we had a good chance at that. The only man that they covered it very well. The only man that was open was our backside tight end, who was wide open in the back of the end zone, but behind the play.
And they also put a lot of pressure on Joe. Again, you don't quit. The onside kick. Casey Mastine comes up with it, but he loses the ball with a hard hit by Cortland. They recover. All they have to do is kneel on it once. Coach, was it just a case of them getting all the breaks, all the bounces?
It seemed that everything seemed to go their way, Tom. We didn't get very many breaks in that game, but that's the way the ball bounces. That's athletics.
Now take us through this scene.